Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Technical Analysis. As we have discussed in our first episode, how to identify the patterns in technicals, when is the support, when is the resistance. Today, we are going to talk about the trend, upward trend, downward trend, or where the market is heading. And thank you to Faizbhai once again for being part of this live with us. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Before we move on, I just wanted to say thank you to Adnan Bhai and to everybody that reached out with questions and stuff. And I just wanted to let you guys know that any questions you guys have regarding what me and Adnan Bhai talk about, you can ask it to me on my Instagram handle, which is my name Faiz _. And also you can start following my YouTube page where I'll be posting a lot more content and we can go from there. So today what I want to talk about is trends, because it is a very simple concept, but it is an important concept to understand because that's how you understand if something is moving upwards, sideways, or downwards. And then you can plan accordingly on how you're going to take your next move based on that, right? So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. So what is a trend? Trend helps us identify. So there's only two things you will ever know for sure in the trading world. Everything else is probability. One is the trend and the other is price action. How is the price moving, right? These are the only two things that you can tell for sure about a stock or crypto looking at the charts, right? So the first thing I want to go over is, let's not look at the charts for now, is how does a trend work? There's like, if we do something like this, right? Is my drawing showing on your screen, Adnan Bhai?
Yeah, it's showing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what is going on here is, so waves moving up and downs, right?
Yeah.
Now the up, we can call it the highs, and the low, we can call it the lows, just for simple terms, right? Now in an upward trend, a stock or a crypto will make higher highs and higher lows. So what do I mean by that? This is a high right here, and then this is a low, right? And this is another high, and this is another low. Now this high is higher than this high,
yeah,
and this low is higher than this low. So in an uptrend, anything will make that's in an uptrend will make higher highs and higher lows. That's the easiest way to identify if something is on an uptrend. And we're going to go look at stocks and cryptos that are in an uptrend, in a downtrend, and then there's sideways trend as well. So based on what I've just told you guys, the opposite would be true for a downtrend, where there would be lower highs and lower lows, right? So that's a high, and that's a lower high. That's a low, that's a lower low.
Okay.
So far, so good, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, stocks don't always go up and don't always go down, or crypto even. There's sometimes they move sideways.
Yeah.
So, right. So where the highs are matching the lows, right? So now, how can this help us? So last time in our last session, we learned what support and resistance was. So the whole point of this series is for me to help you guys with looking at these charts with some structure. So there's like things there. It's not just red and green candles all over the place. There's structure. So you know at this location what is going on, what is the sentiment. It makes it easier. So let's go look at some of these cryptos and stocks that we have. Actually, Adnan Bhai, do you have any requests of any crypto or stock that you want to look at?
I think it's better to look at right now the trends for the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin moves the crypto market, and Bitcoin also follows S&P 500 index. So I think it's better to compare Bitcoin with stocks and see how the trend is moving.
Let's do it. All right, let's go to my crypto list, Bitcoin. Okay, so if you remember from last time, I said when we make our support and resistance, I always start from the weekly and I make the all-time high and then the all-time low. So when I come for trend to identify trends, I would also usually start from weekly. Now, my biggest piece of advice is, this is a mistake a lot of new people in the markets make, is they get emotionally attached to their investments, and then if it drops, they start panicking, and then they sell it, and then they realize, oh, 2 days later it's back up and I just lost my position, right? So when in doubt, zoom out. That's the best advice I could give. right? When in doubt, just zoom out, and it'll give you better sleep at night most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So on Bitcoin, we can see we just did higher highs and higher lows. So let's see. We got our high, we got our low, then we made a huge high, got our low, then we made a new high. Now we're on the low.
Yeah.
So what can we tell from this? We can tell so far it's in an uptrend, right? Now, if we break 30,000, we would not be in an uptrend because we would break
Will
the
be.
low right here,
Yeah.
right?
Lower
And it
trend.
would
Yeah.
break the. I think that's going to happen. I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it because of inflation going on and so many countries adopting Bitcoin, and there's so much bullish news to for it to break that, right? Uptrend. So I would
So
say
I
that
would like to,
Bitcoin.
make a pause here for you. So in crypto world, you don't have to only look at the technicals because crypto is complicated. It is affected by so many factors. Some of the factors, as Faizbhai has already talked about, is you have to look at what the economy is telling you, and in the economy you have to look at U.S. economy because U.S. economy makes decisions that can directly impact crypto market. Right now in
Yep.
U.S. economy, the biggest thing that's happening is inflation, which is at 7%. And they're trying to bring the inflation down by increasing the interest rates. I don't think so that it's a possibility in the near future because there's elections coming up in US, mid-elections in November or December. And for them to succeed in that election, they need to keep pumping the money into the market so that people are excited and happy making money. So I think this trend may continue and it may not continue. Don't take it as a financial advice. This is what my prediction is. So that's what I wanted to add. Vespa, you can continue now.
Right. Now, we this is what Bitcoin is doing. Now, like, but I really don't think Bitcoin is gonna break this downtrend because something absolutely horrendous would have to happen to all of crypto for this to happen. And I don't
So
there's so much
for us to
innovation
see
and
that the lower low is looking at $30,000 right now, correct?
yes, so if we break 30,000, that means
Yeah.
Bitcoin has broken its uptrend, right? Does that mean it's going to go down? No. If it does go to that point, it might just move sideways for a little bit and then go up because
Yeah.
it needs to breathe, right? Now, when we go, like you said, Bitcoin and SPY are very related. So if we go check out the SPY, now this is the SPY. If you go on weekly, now this is probably one of the best bull trends, uptrends you can see ever. So this is higher high and higher high. Then we broke this. We went all the way up. Then we had the March 2020 crash. Now here.
The,
Now,
the
looking
money
at
printer,
this,
the money printer goes burr.
that money printer is tired of working, right? Anyways, so if I like the last video, I was telling that you can't be a permanent bear in these markets, which has
Yeah.
been bullish for the last 15 years, right? Because you're gonna keep losing money if you play against the trend. Now, with you can see that recently we've been having a bit of uncertainty and doubt in the markets, and you can see it both in the crypto world and in the stock world, and it's all because of the macroeconomics. It has less to do with technicals, because if it was based on technicals, Ethereum should have been above 5,000 by
Over
now, right?
5,000. Yeah.
Solely on technicals, but it's not. So macroeconomics definitely comes into play. Now, the biggest mistake I see people do when it comes to trends is when things are in an uptrend, people will expect it to go to the moon. But when things are in a downtrend, they will be surprised that things are keep going down and lower. And I'm like, that's what they're supposed to do. They're in a downtrend. For example, let's look at something that is in an amazing downtrend. It's probably going to go to zero soon. It's a company called AMWL, American Well Corporation. So this is in the telehealth sector, which they have, I'm not really sure about what they do specifically, but they connect doctors with patients at home and make it easier for, like, over COVID and stuff. This is what happened. So when it launched, people were like, it
Excited.
launched at $22, right? So it went all the way up to
43.
$43. Now after that, it's just been like just
Yeah.
all the way down, right? So we have lower highs, lower lows, what we just talked about, we can clearly see. Now, as an investor, if I see this, would I want to start building a position in this? Probably not. Even if I'm not good at fundamentals, I would probably wait for the downtrend to break before I start making a position in a company like this.
Yeah.
Now, there's companies like Block or Square. So if you look at company like Square, it's taken a big hit. So this is when zooming out would make you, like when in doubt, zoom out would be advisable, because that's a high, then we made a low, then we made a higher high. Now we're on our way to make a low. Does that mean we're in a downtrend? Maybe on a daily chart we are. If you're a day trader, yes, you're going to look for bearish plays, but as an investor, you're eyeing for like the 100 level in Square to pick up some shares, maybe, right? So because it is in an uptrend and it is a company that actually makes money and has solving problems in the world. So,
and in my recent newsletter, I talked about, Square is planning to mine Bitcoin. So that could be one of the bullish news for the future. So it's in
yep,
the downtrend now, but it's not going to be in the downtrend forever.
exactly. And they just got into the tax business as well, I'm pretty sure. So Square, I think, is a solid company that has unfortunately been getting hit because of growth companies. So growth companies are companies that have a lot of future value, right? And then there's value companies that have proven themselves in the past, like Apple, Google, Microsoft, and they also have, people are not going to stop buying these products from these companies,
Yeah.
but they have less speculative aspects to it. Now, when it comes to trends, there's, like I said, there's uptrends, there's downtrends. So, and then there's sideways trends. So let's look at something that's been going sideways for a while, which is IWM. Now, this is an ETF for the Russell 2000 that talks about the mid cap stocks. It's not includes the SPY and the NASDAQ stocks. Now, if you look here, this has been going sideways since
Sideways.
the start of January 2021. So for a year, it's been going sideways,
So
right?
when it is going sideways, how do we know when it's going to break that trend of sideways?
You never know when it's going to do it. If you knew when, you would be a trillionaire, because then you could time all your plays, right? So you never know when, but you can now visualize, because now we have a support and resistance knowledge in our mind. Now we know what a trend is. So we can see that there's a support here and a resistance there. And it's been chopping around, up and down between that. So as a trader, if you wanted to trade the IWM, you could probably use, like, these are advanced plays in options. So if any viewers are familiar with options, you could do iron condors, so that you have, like, you're playing a range, because with options it gives you the versatility to play within range. The stock doesn't only have to go up, doesn't have to only go down. You can make money even if it goes sideways, right? So it gives you the option to play it based on what the market is doing rather than what you want it to do, which is also another big mistake that a lot of new traders make, is they trade based on what they want the stock or crypto to do rather than what it is actually doing.
Actually doing.
So, right, so that's also another reason why I want to emphasize on identifying trends, right? Now
Can
you
you take
can
a look at XRP?
XRP, yeah.
Yeah, because many people keep on asking me what's going to happen with XRP. I said SEC is not going to accept their defeat, and this case will hopefully keep on continuing it. So that means your money is stuck there.
Okay, let's look at XRP USD. Let's
I hope you haven't put any money in XRP. Have you?
no, I hate XRP.
Why is that? Why do you hate it?
Because it has caused, like, it has no purpose. It has so much problems that it has in front of it, and people are blindly buying it based on like Twitter influencers and these guys pumping this coin. And I'm like, look at the fundamentals of it, look at what problem it's solving and what it is failing at doing, look at why the SEC is coming after them, look at the team that's running it. And so now, forget all that, let's look at the trend. If you look
Yeah.
at this chart, to me it looks like a penny stock chart, right? If you look at penny stock charts, this is how they have, like, these little spikes and then they come back down. They have spike and then they come back down. So this, to me, is not even in an uptrend or a downtrend. It's just sideways. It's like
Sideways.
sideways chart.
Yeah.
I I don't, I can, like I said, nobody can predict the future, so I don't know if it's gonna go up or down. But this to me looks like something everybody should stay away from. Like, why would you want to put yourself through all this hard, like it's stress? Because you're one day gonna go up and you're like, oh, this is gonna go to the moon and then back down a couple days later, right? So trend wise, this is a very flat crypto. Like there's no life in it. But now, if you look at something like, let's look at one of my
Cardano?
favorites,
Oh,
Cardano. Okay, let's look at Cardano.
thank you.
Okay, so
This is Cardano.
this is Cardano. Now, Cardano hasn't been around for a long time, so let's go to the daily chart. Okay, so Cardano also looks like it's doing an XRP.
I like that.
So you can see it's like so much stress. It goes up, then comes right back down, goes up, comes right back down. And it's probably going to do this, probably spike up, come right back down. And we've seen what has happened with ADA. You always share the update. So for the viewers, I would say you have two ways of looking at this to basically make your own decisions with more confidence, which is look at people like Adnan Bhai and gather information from them because they love what they do and they provide very valuable information. And second, learn to read the charts because that will tell you what the emotions and what is actually happening and not what you want it to do. So based on what we see here, let me just delete all this drawing. You would, if you didn't even know Adnan Bhai, you could look at this chart and know that ADA is having a hard time. It's not an uptrend. Is it making higher highs and higher lows? Absolutely not. It tried to when it did this. This is a higher high, and then boom, it broke the low and back down. So it was a failed uptrend. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for ADA, but fortunately for us,
Cosmos.
there's some. Cosmos is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
amazing.
recently bought in over there, but
What price did you get in?
I started buying around here. I missed this run up, and I was like, man, should I chase it and buy it here? And then I was like, no, I'm just gonna wait till it drops a little bit, and then I got this nice little pullback right here, and I got some here. Then it did this, and then I went in and on this pullback, and now I'm waiting for it to go higher. And it's staked too, so thanks to you, it's staked and making me more Cosmos. But
Uh,
you can see here.
can you tell everybody, like as a technical person, why do you think Cosmos will keep on continue to grow in the future?
Technically, it's because it's in an uptrend. Well, if you want to look at the trend, this is the higher high right there, and then the higher low, and now it's probably gonna move sideways. And once we get that break, it's gonna break. And Cosmos is also, with all this bearishness going on in the crypto market, Cosmos has been one of the top performers.
Top performer.
And I think this year it could keep continuing to be the one of the top performers. I thought Polkadot would be up there with it, but Polkadot is still, I'm not saying Polkadot is bad, but Cosmos is just standing out this year so far. Because if you look at Polkadot went down, so did a lot of things like Sand, Mana, Ethereum, Sol, Matic. All of these, Matic actually is holding up, not gonna
Yeah,
lie. Matic is also a strong looking candidate for this year.
or they just did their upgrade for their mainnet, and which is why it's holding up to it. And with Ethereum 2.0 coming up, hopefully by the summer of 2022, we can see Matic going into the bull trend as well.
That's right. Now, I want to conclude this with three things. I want all our viewers to understand that the market moves, but like what it wants to do. You cannot predict what the market is going to do. So support resistance, trends, all of these are ways for you to identify what is going on. Where do you stand at that present moment, and how can you go forward from there? Trends, always as a new trader or as a new investor, always buy things that are in an uptrend and you know how they make money or how they solve problems. For example, in the crypto world, I would suggest understanding what problems is that crypto solving. In the stock world, I would say understand how they make money. Do you use their products? Do you have friends who use their product? And if it's in an uptrend, go ahead and start for long term. I'm not saying start trading it and buying it at high and then selling it low, because that's not how it works. But as an investor, look at these trends before you make your decision. Don't just blindly put in money because Adnan Bhai said so, or I said so, or someone else said so.
Exactly. Always do your research.
Yes, because it's your money. You worked hard for it. You have emotions attached to it. Put it somewhere that you are confident and you did your research. It will let you sleep better at night. It will let you hold it for longer terms. And eventually, inshallah, it'll make you make more money as well, right? And the third point is know your time frame. If you're a trader or want to be a trader, understand what time frame you want to trade. Are you a daily trader, like a day trader? Are you a swing trader who's going to look at 4 hours, 1 hour? Because I'll show you something. If I'm let's not look at crypto. Let's go into stocks for a second. If I'm an Apple trader, right? This is the weekly chart, and we all know Apple is a $3 trillion company. It's an uptrend, amazing company.
Apple company is equal to all the companies in the crypto world. That's how you can put it as.
Yep. And the AirPods that I have, the amount of revenue Apple generated from AirPods is around how much Tesla generated by selling all of their cars. So that's a perspective you can like. Apple is one of the best companies in the world, not just in America. So if I'm an investor looking at long term, yeah, sure, I could buy when it drops a little around 150, and then I'll be good. But as a trader, my trend won't be bullish if I'm looking at if I go into 3-minute chart and I look at yesterday, what happened. Well, yesterday would be a bad day because it's chop fest lately, but you can see that the trend changes within the day. It changes. Like this is an uptrend, then we had a downtrend, then we had an uptrend. So you need to identify these trends based on your time frame. Don't get confused as, oh, I'm a day trader, but the stock is doing an uptrend on a weekly, so I'm gonna hold, and then it drops and you lose.
So Faiz bhai, let me summarize what you just said. You said if you are a day trader, then you should be looking at a daily chart. If you are a swing trader, you should be looking at the weekly chart. Is that correct?
Yes, but you can look at multiple different charts. Just know what time frame you're looking at and identify the trend on that time frame. Don't go back and forth between, oh, it's uptrend in the weekly but downtrend in the 1 hour, so I'm just gonna hold because it's gonna go up eventually. Well, if you wanted to hold that, then you're not trading, you're investing, right? So know what you're doing, know your time frame, identify the trend, and make your decision based on that.
And in the trading world, do you have this notion that past performance do not predict the future results?
Yes. Your past performance can help you predict, but it can never help you for sure guarantee anything. That's why it's a probability game. And another advice, it's like there's these sayings. These are little sayings that I like. The trend is your friend until the bend at the end.
I love that. I love that one.
Right. So keep playing with the trend until it works against you, and then just wait and see if the trend is reversing, and then play with the new trend. That's the simplest way of trading I can tell you.
Yeah, this is great. We definitely love this session. The first session we talked about how any technicals is performing, how you can find support and resistance. Once you have learned that, second thing that you need to learn is how these trends are working. You should not be investing your money when is the downward trend. You need to draw your lines for the support and resistance and see where the trend you think is going to get stopped. And that's the time when you should realize, okay, this is the time I should get in for the long-term investment. Any other thing you would like to add in this, Faizbhai?
All I would say is for any of the viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, because I know trading is hard. It is a hard game. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And the more questions you ask, the more you learn and the more mistakes you avoid. Because if I can tell you a mistake I made and it helps you avoid it, it'll save you time and money, right? So go practice making support resistance. Send me your charts. You can always go into my Instagram, send me a picture of your charts, ask me, hi Faiz, is my support resistance levels good? Is this in an uptrend? And I'll tell you if it is or not, right? And if you have any stocks that you guys would like to for me to review with Adnan Bhai, let me know. We can do it in the next video as well, or crypto.
Yeah, and if you have any questions regarding the support and resistance lines and you cannot send it on Instagram, this is the email address that you can send it to me as well. And the next session, I can share that screenshot with Fazbai, and we can go from there. So we are here to help you out. Help us help you. That's all I would like to say. And thank you so much for being part of this session. And hopefully we'll continue with the next session. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great day.
See you guys.